today's episode, we are joined by an individual who has graduated from Heriot-Watt from mechanical engineering with a specialization in biotechnology. And straight after his bachelor's, he went to do a PhD in Singapore with a focus on biomedical optics.
And that is Omar Malik. Hello, Malik. How are you?
I'm alright, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast. And how's it going? How's everything going in Singapore?
Yeah, getting better. Getting better. Yeah, slowly rolling out of the circuit breaker is what they call quarantine over here. So,
It's a really fancy name.
yeah, yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
So let's start with this. Like in short, could you explain to us like who is Omar? What has he been doing and what is he doing now?
Sure. So, I lived in UAE for the most part. So all throughout school and university, as you mentioned as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I did so maybe this is relevant. So I did my high school as AP, advanced placement. That helped me to come into Heriot-Watt, into direct second year entry. And then I was able to complete that and then come here from that. So now over here, which is Nanyang Technology University in Singapore, I'm doing PhD, so direct PhD, so I don't get like a master's in between. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that's in biomedical optics. But yeah, so kind of like, this is a pretty good progression. For anyone still in high school, it's a pretty good progression. So if you can skip a year in undergrad, definitely do it. And I'm sure you guys would agree. We know people in, DEP Foundation?
Yeah.
It's basically a wasted year, in my opinion. And even in first year, you're going over basics. So I would skip it and maybe put in the work and move forward in that track faster, maybe. But at least that was the advice I was given by my brother, and it worked out so far. So here we are.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know. I and Abdul have had this discussion, and or at least our fathers thought that it wasn't a great idea to skip the first year, because apparently like everywhere engineering is like bachelor's, it's like 4 years, except like some places in the Europe where it's like 3.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because most of their schools, it's like the high school, like it's up to 13 grades. So they do 12 and then 13. Like for me, I did only till 12th grade. And back home in India also, it's like until the 12th grade. And then we do like engineering is like 4 years. So they thought that suppose we go back to India, if you say like you did a 3 years engineering, they'll be like, wow, what? That's not engineering. So
right, yeah.
Because of that issues, like we thought, like even though I had the option of skipping the first year, but then I didn't do it. And at the end of the day, like it was the same amount of money that I was gonna pay, because if I do a first year, then I receive like scholarship, like 25% every year. So it wasn't like economic wise, it didn't affect that much, but yeah, time wise it was okay. And it was a good experience. Like it gave me more time to know about people and to choose the right circle of people and to know the professors. So it's not like I lost anything, but it was okay for me.
Right.
Every people have their opinion, so I think it's okay as long as you're happy with the decision you took.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair.
Yeah. So, like, how was your school life? Like, was it completely in UAE, and like, how did it go? And are there any important lessons that you learned that you followed till now?
I don't know about lessons, just to get that out of the way. But Yeah, it was mostly in the UAE, maybe like a year or two outside the UAE, but mostly in the UAE. And I did like the last 6 years in uh, predominantly, I would say, like an Arabic school. Like it was international, but a lot of like maybe like 90% of the people were Arabic. So I guess that helped in learning Arabic, I guess. So I'm happy about that, and it's pretty normal, I think. Uh, yeah, nothing really stands out. I was happy that they gave us the opportunity to do AP. Like, uh, yeah, because my brother had to do AP in his school, but the way it worked with them is they had to do their normal school track and they had to do AP alongside it, right? So they're effectively studying for two systems at once. But with us, it was just you do one track. And I think it's the same with IB as well, where you just study for IB and that's your entire thing. So you just study for AP and that's your entire thing. And that helps you, manage your time and not get burnt out like a lot of people do. But yeah, it was pretty standard. Nothing really crazy about school. Yeah.
So if I'm correct, AP is the American system, right?
Yeah, the American system.
Is there a reason why you do the American system, or you just do it because it's good? Like, is there a reason why you took that syllabus and you studied?
Because my brother did it. So yeah, that must have been the main driving factor behind it. Because he saved, I think, almost a year in undergrad as well. Back then, which was a while ago. So his recommendation was, rather than going for IB, which also helps you save a year, by the way.
Yeah.
And A level, which at the time was transitioning from 12 year to 13 year. This seemed to be like kind of the best option.
So even A levels and AP is different.
Yes.
They're equivalent.
Yes
They're
or no?
equivalent. Yeah, yes and no, basically.
But they're two different systems, right? Like A level is separate, AP is separate.
A level is British. AS A level is British.
Okay. And you, Abdu, you did O levels and A levels, right?
Don't don't ask. So
I'm always confused. So I want to know, like, at least I don't know how many listeners are like not confused, because I still system, and like at the maximum I know, okay, there is something called O level, A levels. That's it. I got to know about IB and all very later on in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So basically, I did my high school in Heriot-Watt, and Heriot-Watt offers you everything, like O levels, A levels, AS, APs, whatever. Yeah.
What is AS?
It's part of the British system.
So it's an advanced sort of an exam, but A level. So I'll tell you. I'll explain. So in grade 9, you can start to get like I think it was math O level and biology O level. I think, I'm not sure. Yeah. Then in grade 11, you have like economics, business, whatever. You can apply for all of them. Okay. After you're done in grade 11, you need to have an AS levels, at least 3. Yeah, because you cannot do an A level unless you have done an AS level. Yeah, but here's the problem: you can do some AS levels until you reach grade 12. And so A level needs grade 13. Okay, it doesn't save you a year, but it saves you a year in university, but it takes a year from you in like high school. So imagine yourself, you started O levels, you're going fine, and suddenly you discover, oh, I need to do grade 13 to graduate with A levels. So what happened to me was I had O levels, I was gonna do AS levels, but when I found out I couldn't do A levels like in grade 12, I just said, I just talked to my parents about it, and they were like, okay, just do the American system. So
and I did. American is the AP.
American is SATs, so SAT 1, 2, and APs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can do that after you do your O levels, or when can you do it? Like which grade can you do your AP?
So both of them are different systems, right?
Yeah.
So O levels start at the same time with SATs. So you can do SATs in grade 10 or 11. Yeah. Then you can do APs in grade 12. APs are normally, so like in your grade 12, you probably had like 5 subjects, right? You do 5 APs.
I did 2 in grade 11, I think. 2 or 1 in grade 11, and then 4 or 5 in grade 12.
Which subjects?
I did microeconomics, I think in grade 11, and then I did chemistry, calculus AB, physics, both of them.
Wait. You did physics, I think it was AC and no, wait.
For us, it was electricity and magnetism was separate, and mechanics, I forgot what it was called, was separate.
You did both?
Yeah, I took both.
Wow.
But I didn't do calculus BC, so it didn't end up mattering. But chances are, if you do calculus BC instead of AB, you can get 2 courses exempted in university instead of just 1. So that's worth it. It's not that much more complex, but it might be worth it. But yeah.
So
yeah, I think that was about it.
Is there a way of doing just the American school system instead of going into the British? Like if you want to directly do SATs 1 and 2, is there any other way other than doing the British school system, which is like the old
No,
level?
you just go to normal school. You just go to normal school. You don't do all of it.
It was basically what most of the people who are doing CBSE, the Indian syllabus did. Because they did like normal 11th and 12th, and they did SATs 1 and 2 because one group of universities in India, they want you to do SATs 1 and 2, or if you want to go to the US, they do it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just do some other school system and do SATs, I guess.
So it may be surprising for some, but SATs have been like dissolved. They're not accepted anymore.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. So
Seriously?
this year or last year, some families actually sued college boards because to pass SATs, you need to have like tutoring for like more than 25 sessions. Like you need a lot of tutoring to pass it, or to get a. So back in the day, it was like out of 2,400. Now it's out of 1,600.
Yeah.
So to get into like one of the best universities, you need at least 1,540 out of 1,600. And that's extremely hard. It's not that easy. But once you have a tutor, like it's simple. It's very simple.
Now I want GRE to be dissolved.
The GRE is honestly, it's exactly like the SAT.
It is.
In my experience, it's exactly the same. I don't know why it exists.
Money.
I remember I started preparing for GRE, and I did the quant, the math basically, the math part. And then you come to the vocab and everything, and I didn't want to do it. I was like, I'm not going to sit and learn words which I'm never going to use in my life. And I closed the book and it is kept aside. It's safely there. I never opened it.
That's very true.
Yeah. It's like you know the language, you have been like speaking it since you were like very young, and then all of a sudden you have this vocab which you've never heard of. It did not make sense for me to sit and do study for the GRE. Like I had better things to do.
I've heard that, or I've read rather, that it's more applicable to business schools where it's more language heavy, and you kind of have to know all these complex words to sugarcoat whatever pyramid scheme you're selling, you know?
But then you GMAT.
Yeah, there's a GMAT for that.
I don't know.
It's really weird. So some places accept both GRE and GMAT, and some places accept schools accept only GMAT. and then you have the engineering schools which accept only GRE. End of the day, I see it as a money making thing that was built so that people in the background can earn money. Like that's the easiest thing. That's the easiest explanation that is there to exist.
Right. Yeah. It because when you can hear about these standardized tests, and the concept makes a lot of sense, right? You want everyone coming into the graduate arena to be at a certain level, but then you take the test and you're like, this is the level. Like this doesn't make a lot of sense, you know.
And it's funny, like only certain places accept the TOEFL, right? So the TOEFL and I think the GRE is given by the same institute, and some universities don't accept if you give IELTS.
Yeah.
For TOEFL, they don't accept it. Like, no, we need TOEFL.
So,
yeah. End of the day, make money as much as you can.
I mean, it's been working for a few decades now.
Yeah. So so when did you found your engineering love for engineering, like at least mechanical engineering, like which part of your school life? Because I like you just told now you took two physics. One was electronics, electricity and magnetism, and then you had the mechanics. So like when did you make up your mind to go into mechanical?
Around probably grade 11 when I had to sign the paper for which APs I wanted to take, and biology and physics were on the same day, so physics it was basically. But yeah, it kind of, you know, from that area where biology didn't interest me too much at that time in high school anyway. Maybe I didn't see the applicability immediately apart from just becoming a doctor or a physician, right? So it's like I'll just go the other way and learn physics instead, and it worked out. So I wasn't too bad at it, and that definitely helps you kind of smooth into a field where you keep doing all right, you know. So and then so I went with that. The APs went all right, thankfully as well. And then when I was choosing a major for Heriot-Watt in Dubai, I think you guys know who Dr. Peter Q is, right?
Yeah. Obviously.
So when I was in the admission place, right, where you have to finalize your thing, he was there, and we got to talk to him. Me and my dad got to talk to him, and my dad was like, "Can you just explain the difference between these fields to him?" You know, like the point. And he gave me like a really good example. I wouldn't be able to tell you the example verbatim, but he took like one simple concept, like a kettle, and he broke it down into, if you want to make a kettle, everything about the kettle from this perspective is electrical, everything about it from this perspective is mechanical, everything about it from this perspective is chemical. Whatever interests you is what field you, whatever like clicks for you is what you want to go in. And instantly I was like, that mechanical part sounds really nice. I don't know if it was that actually kettle, but it was like a very profound example. And that's where because my dad wanted, or he was kind of persuading me to go into chemical and go into that petroleum route, which is a really good route. Financially.
Questionable. Questionable, though.
Maybe now more so. But financially, if you think about it, like 20-30 year career in petroleum is not half bad if you think about it. But yeah, so the mechanical part was definitely very interesting to me, and I'm pretty happy with that choice. Now having friends in both electrical and chemical, I find that I would have enjoyed mechanical more than either of them. Yeah, for sure.